Did you ever get the urge to kind of put your thumb on the scale and say, give St. Joe's, LaSalle, or Temple a boost, and say, hey man, we from up here, we need to give them a couple extra points or anything like that? Did you do that? And if not, why not?
Can't get no rest, don't know how I work all day. When will I learn? Memories get in the way.
To South Carolina, and in the grand scheme of things, with the high major football stuff, with the amount of resources that these guys throw at their athletic programs, playing on the Big Ten Network TV and the SEC Network TV, it's just a little bit different with those two. Did you feel that on the visits? Were they just a little bit, talk about things like living arrangements at those two schools compared to the others?
Well, they're not dorms, they're not college dorms. They live at the resources at South Carolina. They have a practice facility that looks like that most people's main gym, and it's right across the street from the apartment, which has a swimming pool.
Each kid has his own washer dryer in his unit, his own bedroom,
stove,
his own bathroom.
Correct.
Every kid.
It's like living at a really expensive apartment complex.
Mm-hmm. And how about the eating arrangements at South Carolina? Do they make sure that these guys?
They want for nothing. Like I said, they have the training tables, they have snacks, and that's just without using their meal plans. In their dorms, in the apartments that they live in, they have 4 restaurants down the bottom of the apartment.
and things like just the training room in the gym, the locker rooms in the gym, all of that stuff. Do you get a sense that there's a commitment from the institution to making sure these guys have everything they need to compete?
Well, like you said earlier, South Carolina, is known for football, mm-hmm. but they're making a big since Frank Martin and Don Staley's been there. They've made a tremendous push, towards the basketball program. So, they there's no stone unturned. They put every dime into their basketball program, and it's very impressive.
Now, the one that ended up winning at the end of the day was Maryland. And I don't think I'll ever forget sitting in that auditorium during the Maryland presentation, and they going through PowerPoints. And it was one particular slide, Howard, where, you and I and Donta and his mom, we all kind of looked at each other. The size of the financial assistance, the stipends and things that they make available to the student athletes is such that I know people who are feeding families of 4 on what Donta Scott will receive as a student athlete at Maryland. Absolutely. I know people who are feeding families of 4 on less.
Yeah, so do I.
So when we saw that, it was stunning. It was breathtaking. It was beyond impressive. And then we come out and we go and we walk through the arena and the practice facilities and all of that stuff. At the end of the day, why Maryland, do you think? Why do you think Donta was persuaded?
A couple things. They have at their practices, one thing, they have pro scouts, sitting at their practices, all the time. That was one thing, their player development, that they had the academic resources. We met with that person. She did a tremendous job, showing us, all the academic resources that they had at the University of Maryland. Number 3, the coaches. I didn't know Matt Brady. Actually, Donta at 10 used to practice at St. Joe's, with Jameer. And in the summer, Jameer would take 2 weeks and go, the shooting camp. Mm-hmm. And I never knew it was Matt. He was Coach Brady, but I never knew Coach Brady was at Maryland until we were sitting at the table, and I'm like, this is the guy. Mm-hmm. So that was one of the things. He does a real good job. Shooting and developing. Basketball skill drills, and just the the campus. The campus is immaculate. You and I, our eyes were, and our mouths were wide open the whole time. It's just impressive.
The words are big time.
Big time.
That's what it is.
In the games, I mean, the first time we went to a game, like you said, they were just playing Butler, but it was sold out. 18,000 people standing on their feet going crazy, and that was just, not a mediocre team, but not one of the, Big Ten teams.
Now, did you ever get the urge to kind of put your thumb on the scale and say, give St. Joe's, LaSalle, or Temple a boost and, say, hey, man, we from up here. We need to give them a couple extra points or anything like that. Did you do that? And if not, why not?
No. I thought I thought I did, the right thing and taking them to each campus, and it's up to them, to show who they are and what they have and what they can do. I think.
I agree. I think they have to sell it. Correct. But I know that you made a conscientious effort to give them every chance.
Every chance. Actually, I said it before the recruiting process started. If one of those schools, if somebody would have came up and said, "Look, let's take a Naeem McLeod, a Hakeem Hart, a Dante Scott, a Dahmir Bishop,
and Seth
Lundy, or
do a Fab Five thing.
Do a Fab Five thing. I'm all in."
It could have been Temple. You would have went.
Temple.
LaSalle. You'd have went. St. Joe's. You'd have went. I don't know.
The only thing with St. Joe's was the academics.
I don't. Michigan did that, but Michigan had everything we talking about. It's Michigan. They've got everything we're talking about. Locally, who could pull that off? I don't even know if Nova could pull that off. To just get everybody and take care of everybody's individual needs and wants and make sure everybody feels comfortable. In this day and age, it'd be interesting. I'd have been amazed to see somebody get 2 or 3 of these kids to commit.
You know what? John Chaney did it with limited resources, and Aaron,
different time.
It's a different
Aaron
time.
didn't go with you to Vegas.
Right.
He didn't go with you to Orlando. He didn't see Boo Williams in Hampton. He didn't go to Dallas and Indiana. And so, therefore, it wasn't Mike Krzyzewski and Frank Martin and Jim B. Line and all these guys watching him play 3 and 4 times a weekend. They didn't get that exposure. So Aaron McKee flies under the radar. Coach Chaney kind of keeps him, in his pocket, and he has him. Same with even a kid like Mark Tyndale more recently. This day and age, it's no secret, man. I mean, near the end, we were fielding calls. I think Virginia called about Donta.
Yes.
Auburn called about Donta.
Florida State.
Florida State. Yeah. And it's just at some point, you know what? We're not going to just keep adding.
I walk around. I can't hear a sound. Folks talking loud, but I don't see at all. I gotta get away. I don't
know where to go. It's hopeless, so